a mysterious town that caused hallucinations to its people. Another town on top of a mountain that disappeared, but left a mysterious lake full of skeletons there. Even a cursed town full of witches that left as a mark a huge circle where nothing grows and where most paranormal phenomena have occurred. These are just some of the strange places you are about to visit. Stay with me. My name is Leonore Clay, and this is The Darkest Secret. And today we present the most mysterious, forbidden towns in the world. It is said that access to all the towns that you are going to visit below were prohibited, and that is the reason why it was so difficult to find them. And the best example that describes this is number 5, Bingan City. Many say they have seen it. Others claim to have been attracted by it. I'm telling you about the mysterious city of Bingan. It's a city that is supposed to be located between Gandora and Samar in the province of the Philippines. Fishermen and adventurers who claim to have seen it declare that while sailing, they got lost and reached the shores of a strange city surrounded by gigantic black skyscrapers, different from anything we already know. They also claim to have felt a strange desire to run aground on its coasts, but out of fear, they have not done so. However, many have said that the same thing happened to them, but that in fact they reached their shores or found their way and followed it without being able to avoid it. Those declare that they entered almost a state of trance, possessed by entities known as elementals or encantos, some tall and bright beings who, upon finding humans wandering near one of the 7 portals that give access to the city, kidnap them in the most passive and strange way known. The reason? Simply to show them the city, to cure hunger and illness. One of the 7 entry portals is the famous Bermuda Triangle. Other accounts claim that in reality, only a person's consciousness can travel to the city, thus leaving their bodies behind in the physical world. In fact, locals believe that Bingan occupies a space that is more ethereal than physical. However, this ghostly city is not easily revealed to prying eyes. It is only shown to those who are invited by forces beyond human understanding. Stories about many fishermen who, while sailing in the sea under the moonlight, witnessed the city seen in all its splendor, in an image that defies all logic and reason, with that same beautiful view that leaves them in the apparent state of trance. But that is not all. There are stories where strange deliveries have been registered from Manila and Cebu, with addresses to the city of Bingan. Trucks full of construction materials paid for by people who, as incredible as it may sound, had died a long time ago. Shipments that undertook a long journey towards a destination that only existed in the collective imagination of the locals. It is said that when the truck driver realized that Bingan is not a tangible place, that there is no map that takes them there, they returned to their cities of origin completely confused because, of course, they had just been participants in a paranormal phenomena. Without a doubt, an enigma that refuses to be completely deciphered. Whether a collective fantasy or a real place that defies understanding, Bingan remains a beacon of mystery amidst the vast and enigmatic Filipino tradition. Number 4. Another inexplicable place in the world lies in the so-called Bennington Triangle, geographical area in the southwest of the state of Vermont, United States, which has been associated with a series of mysteries and unsolved disappearances over the years. For example, we have the case of Mitty Rivers, a 74-year-old man who disappeared while hunting on November 12, 1945. On the way back, the man walked ahead of the group and was never seen again. The only thing that was found of him was a cartridge from his rifle. Obviously, Mitty's gun had been fired. The reason? No one knows. The strangest thing of all is that the man was an experienced hunter and was familiar with the area. We also have the case of Paula Walden, a young student who disappeared in the same place in 1946. The reward of $5,000 still stands, since no one has been able to find her yet. 3 years after this incident, James Tedford disappears. He came from seeing his family, and his bus was driving through the road of this forest. According to witnesses, the man was still on the bus at the last stop before reaching Bennington. Somewhere between the last stop in this forest, he disappeared. His belongings were still on the bus, and so on with another couple of no less strange disappearances. There were so many that it was considered that something evil was running through this large area. However, a post from 2021 on Reddit could contain answers to all these disappearances. You see, in that post, a young adventurer shared his story of how, together with friends, they had planned to go hiking in this mysterious place. Excited, they set out for this mountainous region, ready to explore the unknown. Following a winding path, they ascended hills and valleys, having no idea that their fate would be stranger than they had ever imagined. As they advanced, the nature around them became increasingly dense and gloomy, as if somehow that had been a warning sign of the disconcerting phenomena that would occur later. Suddenly, and after making several sharp turns and walking where there was not even a path, they noticed a perfect circle of trees that seemed to have been arranged deliberately, as if they marked an entrance to another world. Intrigued and full of curiosity, the group decided to enter that circle. As they advanced through the dark forest, they realized that the atmosphere became even more disturbing. The forest seemed to be charged with an inexplicable energy, and the feeling that something was not right began to grow inside them. However, in less than 10 minutes after crossing that circle, they reached a clearing. What they discovered there left them completely perplexed and scared. In front of them was a small village in a state of disrepair that suggested it had been abandoned for decades. The houses, built in a style similar to that of the Amish community, were overgrown with moss and neglected. Hanging clothes swaying in the wind and old tools lay on the ground. The village seemed to have been frozen in time, as if its inhabitants had disappeared overnight, leaving behind their possessions in their daily lives. But the most disturbing thing was the total absence of any human being. As it was already getting dark, the group felt increasingly uncomfortable and decided to quickly leave the place, but not before swearing to each other to return the next day. However, when they returned and reached the place where they had seen that strange circle of trees, they were astonished, for it had inexplicably disappeared completely, as if it had never been there. They searched for the entrance for hours, but could not find it. The experience left all the adventurers with more questions than answers. In the abandoned village in the heart of the Bennington Triangle emerged as another enigma of this place. Could this mysterious village and the people who perhaps live there be responsible for those disappearances? Hopefully one day we will know. Number 3. The Hoybachu Forest, with its impressive 55,000 years of existence, is a mysterious corner nested in the heart of Transylvania. Its almost 3 square kilometers of green carpet of trees hide disturbing stories, tales, and legends that a few and somewhat fearful locals have circulated by word of mouth. An aura of mystery that has earned this place the nickname of the Bermuda Triangle of Transylvania. The Hoybachu Forest is said to host inexplicable paranormal activity, although no one has been able to shed light on what really happens in this enigmatic place. The brave ones who venture into its dark paths often report losing track of time, stating that what seems like minutes can turn into hours without any explanation as to why. One of the most chilling stories date back to 1970, when a woman and her 10-year-old son went into the woods, only to be enveloped by a thick fog and lose consciousness. When they woke up, they were in their own home, as if time had stopped and then restarted. Another story that defies logic involves a little girl who disappeared in the woods, only to reappear 5 years later, aged and with no memory of where she had been. According to records, around 1,000 people have disappeared in this forest over the years, leading to speculation about the existence of a secret portal that allows travel through time or to other worlds. In addition to stories of unexplained disappearances, the forest is also home to abandoned houses and cabins that contribute to its eerie atmosphere. In 1965, a shepherd and his flock of 200 sheep entered the forest and disappeared from the face of the earth, leaving the only trace of wool embedded in the barbed wire of one of these cabins. UFO sightings are another intriguing part of this location, with reports dating back to the 1960s. In 1968, a couple claimed to have seen a shiny metallic disc above the trees, which made incredible movements before disappearing. Another notable sighting took place in 2002, when a couple captured a cigarette-shaped flying object hovering over the treetops. But the reason for this position in this video is not that, but rather that it is said that more than 100 years ago, a town of witches arose in this place. It is said that witches, magicians, among other dark individuals, had made this their home as a result of the energies that allowed better use of their talents. However, that population accused of erratics was violently eradicated, leaving only part of the deteriorated cabins or wooden sticks that are found around this place visible. In fact, it is believed that the village existed in the same place where today nothing grows. A wide circle that has been arduously studied and still cannot be clarified why nothing grows here. Some claim that the witch village was here. Others believe that it is not a witch village, but a normal one, but that its massacre caused so much pain that it impregnated the forest with a curse. Others believe that it is a portal to other dimensions. What is known is that its mysteries will continue to be an unsolved enigma in the heart of Transylvania. Number 2. In the heart of the Himalayas, in a remote region of India, there was a village hidden nearby, a place that had remained isolated from the outside world for generations. It was said that at the top, a beautiful town decorated around a large lake. The town known as Var was an enigma in itself. Its inhabitants led a simple life, governed by ancient traditions that included mystical rituals in honor of the mountain gods. They wore hand-woven clothes with bright colors that stood out against the pure white of the snow that surrounded their home. It was a beautiful town. Music resounded at its annual festivals, and bonfires illuminated the dark nights. The legend spoke of its self-imposed isolation, a decision made to protect its dark secrets. They were rumored to practice black magic and perform dark rituals on full moon nights. No one from the nearby towns ventured to approach Var, fearful of what might happen. However, one day, a group of bold explorers decided to challenge the mystery of Var. Guided by ancient maps and stories passed down from generation to generation, they undertook an arduous journey towards the mountains. They reached the place where the hidden town was supposed to be located. What they found, however, was devastating. Don't be confused. It's not that there was nothing. They actually stumbled upon Rupkan Lake, the lake that legend spoke of. However, instead of the warm lights of the huts and festive music, they stumbled upon this image. Nothing more than a small lake in the mountains. The mysterious and disturbing thing comes next. They discovered skeletons of hundreds of people that lay around the lake. There was no town of Var, only skeletons, dozens of bones scattered around the place. Imagine the amazement of the explorers. The theory that arose in the minds of the explorers was as intriguing as it was terrifying. Could these have been the bones of the people of Var? Or maybe, is this how the people who tried to find the town would end up? Explorers never found definitive answers. The mystery of Rupkan Lake and its disturbing cemetery of scattered skeletons, to this day, attracts the attention of experts who continue to speculate as to what happened and whether a town ever existed here. Number 1. In the depths of the vast and mysterious Patagonia between Argentina and Chile, where the land stretches to the east and its mountain peaks raise an ancient lament to the west, lies the enigma of the city of the Caesars, or also called the Trapananda, a legend that has trapped adventurers and dreamers for centuries. A story that begins with the glow of the Spanish conquest in the New World. In the days of the conquest, when the Spanish explored the remote corners of South America, a city like no other emerged, an ostentatious and imposing city that was set to rival the great metropolises of the mother country. Stories speak of how its buildings stood as monuments to power and wealth, and its marble streets were adorned with unimaginable treasures. There were elegantly dressed white men with beards who owned much gold and silver. Some even said that the gods themselves had created the city and shrouded it in a mystery that defied any mortal. However, the city of the Caesars was not just any city. It is said that it was hidden, surrounded by secrets and protected by a veil of mystery. The fog that enveloped the region closed over it like a cloak. As the centuries passed, explorers came to Patagonia in search of the city of the Caesars. They built or invaded, depending on your point of view, many sectors that still have their name to this day, and all in search of this strange land. The legend increased when an explorer arrived with another map and an even more spectacular idea. His map indicated that the Templars had taken the Holy Grail to an inhospitable place, a land they called the Land of the Caesars, the same city that everyone else was talking about, where they claimed white men lived. It was thus that the city of the Caesars became a myth, a chimera that could never be fully achieved. Ancient maps marked it as a point at the end of the world, a place where the boundaries between the real and the supernatural were blurred. And as the sun set over the vast Patagonia, the city of the Caesars remained shrouded in mystery, waiting for someone to challenge the secrets it kept within. Did you know about the existence of some of these mysterious towns? Let me know in the comment box, because this video has come to an end. My name is Leonore Clay, and this was The Darkest Secret.